In this video, I will explain the diesel cycle, which is the ideal cycle for compression ignition engines. First, you need to understand what are compression ignition engines. A common term which you have all listened about, that is diesel engines. So diesel engines are compression ignition engines in which there is no spark plug. You can see here that it is fitted with a fuel injector instead of a spark plug. So fuel is ignited in this engine by the compression of gas. Then when the piston is moved up, its pressure and temperature is increased up to a point where the fuel is ignited itself, so it does not need any spark. So this is done when the ignition temperature of the fuel is reached. So diesel cycle is applied for diesel engines, and the only difference between the Otto cycle and the diesel cycle is that heat is added in the diesel cycle is at constant pressure, whereas heat was added in the Otto cycle was at constant volume. There are some other distinct features of this diesel cycle that are that spark plugs and carburetors are not present in the diesel engine. The air is compressed to a temperature that is above the auto ignition temperature of the fuel. The fuel injection process in the diesel engine starts when the piston approaches TDC, and that means top dead center, and continues during the first part of the power stroke. So ignition is not in the Otto cycle. Ignition was started when the piston was reaching its TDC, that means before reaching the top dead center. But in the diesel engine, the ignition is start after reaching the top dead center, and it continues uh, when the piston starts to come downwards, which keeps its pressure constant. The combustion process in the ideal diesel cycle is approximated as a constant pressure heat addition, whereas in the Otto cycle, this combustion process was as considered as constant volume heat addition. These are the some differences between the Otto cycle and diesel cycle. So diesel cycle is used in diesel engines, which diesel engines are commonly used in heavy duty trucks and 4x4 vehicles.